game week of hell. Red arrow o'clock. All because captaincy. Who was my captain? My captain. It was Ollie Goddamn Watkins. I could have decided to go premium o'clock because Holland scored. Salah scored. Isaac was injured. But now we sit here with no retribution. So let's figure out what happened in our final game week. My name is Sid from the FPL Diamond Dogs. With Sid from the FPL Diamond Dogs. One more time. Let's start the show.
Yo. Hey,
Sid.
tips.
Sid. It could have been beautiful. It could have. It must have been like we could have had it all. We could have had it all. I was just, yo, but now I'm just rolling in the deep. I'm just here rolling. I had it. Sid. I had it. But it just wasn't. It wasn't it today. So
You had nothing.
I had no. See, Bowen. I was screaming from the rafters. You were saying nothing about Bowen. You were like, yeah. I was there. I was there screaming from the rafters about my boy Bowen. And I'm like, I believe in him so much, I'm going to captain him. But then I didn't. But what's up?
I'm just listening to the bullshit you're spewing because
No,
I have video proof. It is on the internet. It is on the internet. Me saying to you, hey, guy, I don't know if Watkins is the right man. I'm doing it. I'm doing it because, bruh, my season's trash. It doesn't make a difference what I do right now because I don't care. I'm not in the top million, so I don't care. I have no chance of getting in the top million, so I don't care. I don't want to be in the top million, so I don't care. You, on the other hand, cared. And I gave you, I gave you my feedback. I said to you, and you can go roll it back. Let's roll it back. Actually, we can even roll it back. You know what? When I'm editing this, I'm gonna roll it back. I'm gonna roll back the clip of where I said to you, it'll be the most Man United thing to happen, where United goes and wins. You know why? Because they lost this week when on it for a trophy. You know what they'll go do? No, guys, we're gonna show you guys to believe in us. Believe. You know, like how we have trust, believe, strike three, you're out. Well, here we go. They were showing you how to believe, then how to trust, and how to make sure they weren't being strike three, you're out, dog. They weren't looking for no call-ups either. It was just straight up believe and trust. That's what they're doing. Hey, you saw your boy Amaron after the game saying all these things about
that speech. That speech, I was back. He brought me back.
You see.
Next season, let's go. Rolling up my sleeves. I'm like, I'm ready to fight again. You, as a leader, Amaron, let's go.
Dog, this isn't Friday Night Lights, bruh. It's not a movie you can write. It's straight up.
It's beautiful.
It's no. Hey, bruh.
A good series to watch Friday Night. It's gonna, you know, clear eyes. When I can't lose. I'm like, I can't lose. Yes.
This is why I say it's the greatest thing to watch a Man United downfall because they start off like this. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. But then, come October, hey, my eyes have glazed over because I've been glazing for the Glazers. Dog. Ineos is out here. They're out here ripping all my heart, everything out of my heart, making sure I have an empty heart because they're out here selling shit to I don't know what company they own, but anyways, they don't own Walmart, do they? They don't own. No, Walmart's owned by the not by FSG, but by the Cronkies. I don't know who owns what Ineos owns, but I know they're $1 billion company.
Ineos owns another football club. But
okay. Well, here we go. They're taking the love for the other football club, bruh. They're taking their love for the other football club.
I don't know what Ineos is, but I know the Glazers own an NFL team.
Yeah.
So the Glazers own an NFL team.
No, well, Ineos own, I think Monaco. I think
Nothing.
it.
It's not Monaco, but it's one of those French teams. I think it's Lille. It might be Lille.
No, it's either one of those. Anyways,
Yeah, yeah.
anyways,
But
off
but
off a
yeah, but the
tangent.
Glazers do own an NFL club, and
Anyways,
it's actually hilarious because that was actually a story of when Man United do their American tour. They were like, "Hey, we don't actually want Man United to come to our NFL team to see how good our facilities are here because we don't invest that much on facilities that side. But yeah, hey, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers." Yo, they're living large in that facility, but that's how bad the Glazers are, man. The Glazers are scam artists,
yeah,
but
they're so good at scamming, dog. They get you guys to believe every season for the last 15 years that you'll be great again this season.
yeah, but let me tell you
You
what they're
guys are
doing,
out here
right?
calling us Netflix. You calling Arsenal Netflix next season,
Not
bruh.
us, not
You
us,
guys
not
are
us,
the epitome of next
not
season.
us, not us, not us. We're not doing that. Those are other hater clubs, not me. Me, no, I don't do that. Us, no, 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 no. Those are your Tottenhams and those O's, right? Tottenham's, Chelsea's. We believe in Arsenal. We because we don't want City to win. Like we don't want City or Liverpool to win. So we actually like you O's. No, because like we can't have. So that's what I'm just saying. All I'm saying is Man United are such cheats that we are even for some strange reason we're not in the Club World Cup. But for some reason, before preseason begins, we're just going on an Asia tour just to make money. Like, because we never made the Champions League, we're like, yo, we need this money from somewhere. So, like, next week, we're just flying to Asia just for 10 days, just in jet, and being like, cool, we promised to take all of our starters. So it's not like we're taking the kids like preseason. We're like, none of you, like, that's how we're just trying to steal money from people. I'm like, why are we going to Asia when we've lost? These O's, we're canceling end of season awards. We're canceling, well, obviously no tour bus rides, but tour bus rides. But we're canceling all of that. But we're like, actually, we need money. Let's go to Asia. Asia is still gonna give us money. We are absolute scam artists. That's all I'm gonna say. We are absolute scam artists as a
Yeah,
club.
yeah, dog. That's what I have to say as well, dog. Like, that's why I said it's gonna be great come October. Hey, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready
I'm
with
ready.
my popcorn. I'm gonna be ready to laugh. I'm gonna be ready
Yeah,
to
Courtney
like.
has a here we go. We're looking at a young Liam Delap. We might look at a young Brian and Buemo. Like we don't know what's happening out here, man. Hey, you
I
don't
don't
know.
think you
See,
know what's happening in your team, dog.
okay, I know Cunha is here to go, and then I know we're waiting for Delap to make a decision. And but there is a Brian and Buemo, like because he's out of contract next season, so he's not renewed, so he's got to go somewhere, So I'm just
He's
I'm
coming
just
home.
saying,
He's coming
I'm
home,
just
dog. He's
saying,
coming home.
I'm
He's
just
coming
saying,
home. He's coming
I'm
home to
just
Arsenal. He's coming home to Arsenal. Don't worry.
I'm
He's
just
coming home to
saying
Arsenal.
we're gonna see what happens because this will be our last thing. So we won't like be doing like preseason content or whatever. So you guys don't know when I come back, I might come back with all the energy. I might come back with a squad full of heroes, a new Avengers. If you watch the Thunderbolts, we are gonna be now the new Avengers.
I love how you wanna talk about coming back. But
Yes,
let's talk about going back to the past.
yeah, yes.
Let's talk about our predictions.
Oh,
Hey, you wanna revisit those predictions for me?
yeah. I think I still have yours. Yeah, let me go check. Let me go check. Yeah, let me go back. Where's Sid's prediction? Ah, here we go. So Sid, so at the start of the season, you know what we did, right? Start of the season, we did a prediction from 1 all the way through to 20. And it's so funny how this ends up looking. So
Wait. I'm pulling
so
up the wait. Let me
yeah,
pull
put
up
up the
the
actual log actually, because I have 1 to 20. Yeah,
let me pull up the actual log just so we can compare. You know, we can see where where we went wrong. You know,
yeah, yeah. This is beautiful, Sid. Because you don't remember this, because I remember you took down my one. So I don't have mine. I don't
You
have
don't have
mine.
yours.
So
Wait, 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 wait,
I
wait.
don't have mine.
Hold on, hold
I
on.
only have yours. So this is gonna be beautiful.
No, no, no. I
Wait, I
think
think
you
this
have
might be
yours.
mine.
I think you have yours, and I have mine.
No, because no, because my one had no. This is yours.
Give me 2 seconds. Give me
Yeah,
two
yeah. You
seconds.
go check because I'm pretty sure I had West Ham in my top four. So that's why it'll be
Yeah,
funny.
Tibbs. Okay, yes. Okay, I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. I've got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Because I had West Ham in my top four, and this one doesn't have West Ham in their top four. So actually, let's so so actually, I'm gonna tick this off to see who truly wins. I'm gonna tick off
So
yours.
no, I'm gonna give it.
Let's do it
Okay,
together.
so okay, wait.
Let's do it
We'll do it.
together.
We're gonna do it together, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep a tally of points, right?
Yeah,
And
me too, me too, me too.
and I'm gonna, no, and I'm gonna explain the points how it goes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you got it dead on, if you got the place dead on, like for
Yeah.
example, you chose, even though we know this is not true, but
Arsenal first, yeah.
you
You
chose
both chose
us.
Arsenal one.
No, I was gonna go with West Ham fourth, and West Ham actually came. If they actually came fourth, then greatness. Then you get 2 points. Okay, 2 points for
Okay.
dead on. A
Yeah.
point. I'll give you a point either side of that. So, for example,
Okay, fair.
exactly. So if you got West Ham, and then if you said West Ham four, but West Ham came fifth or third, you'll get a point.
There we go. That's cool. And then 2 points for dead on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Wait. Do you have a piece of paper? I
Yes,
can
yes.
go get that.
I have a piece of paper for both of us. Don't worry.
All right. Okay, cool. So let's go for number one for both of us. There we go. This is top quality. So number one for the both of us. Okay, Sid said number one is going to be
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
I said that. Yes, I did.
You said, and I said.
You said Arsenal as well.
So one off. So
Oh
who's the
yeah,
number one?
we both got 1 point here. 1 point
Yeah, we
here.
won. We're strong. Yeah, we're strong. Yeah. Um.
Then
Then we have.
what did you say
Then
for sec? What did I say for second?
you said. You said Man City.
Did I say City second? Are you sure
Yeah,
I
you
said
did say
City
City.
second?
You said City second. You
Okay.
said City. No, but they
Okay.
came third, didn't they?
Yeah, we came
City
third, and
came third.
you also said
What?
City second.
Yeah, came third. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're vibing.
Yeah.
One each. Now the points we start losing. Third, you said it's Liverpool.
You also said Liverpool.
Yeah. So now zero.
Yeah, 0 points here.
Okay, now life gets rough. Somehow, I don't know how this happens. You said Man United are gonna come fourth.
Yeah.
You, I think you're trying to gaslight me. I think you're
No, no. Okay, wait. Justification here. Let me give a justification here. Okay, you guys,
Man
you
United
guys,
fourth.
you guys came. You guys won the FA Cup. You had just won the FA Cup. You guys had just beaten. I thought you guys were gonna get. In all honesty, I thought Ten Hag was gonna be sacked earlier, so that allows for your team to build. I didn't think Amarim was gonna be the man to come in and just coast.
He.
So, hey, okay, I'll wear that on my heart. But your shout, my guy.
My team not beat Man United. Dude, my team was higher than Man. My team was closer to fourth than your team was. So let's not even start here.
So
I
okay,
understand. I
so
understand.
yeah, you got West Ham, dog.
I believed, fam. I honestly, like, I was a huge fan of the manager, Lepatelli. He got sacked, but I was a huge Lepatelli fan. Then, like, I saw how they brought in, like, they had Kudus. I saw they brought in that German striker who never played any games, Fulcrum or whatever.
Yeah,
So I thought that life was gonna happen. I saw them bring Basaka back and shore up that right back position. I had, so for me, I just thought Lapatelli would really like galvanize the team. He got sacked, so they clearly never. But now that they have Harry Potter in the building, they're like, there's gonna be some Liviosis next year, and they're just gonna go up and up the league. So that was just a poor. I just believed. I'm sorry, I believed. I apologize. That was just pure unadulterated belief. So then fifth, you had Chelsea, which was actually
I get a
hang on.
point for that. I get a point for
You
that.
came fourth. Chelsea came fourth. Yeah, Newcastle
Yes.
came fourth.
Yeah, so I get a point for that.
Will you get a point for that? Who did I say was going to come? I actually don't even remember who I
You
put
said
fifth.
Spurs, dog. Spurs. Yeah, dog. You said Spurs.
Spurs at fifth.
Yes, Spurs at fifth.
Did I believe in Dominic Solanke and the boys? That. Oh, wait a minute, lads. In my defense, since you're the road into defense, in my defense, right?
Yeah, let's hear your defense.
No, like,
This is
when.
defense against the dark arts.
And yeah, man. To be fair, like, when Postecoglou came into the league, Spurs were vibing. You know what I'm saying? Spurs were vibing and doing so well. And then I thought what they need was a center forward, and they got one. So I thought they would still be in and around through their, like, second season. Maybe they got better, but oh my Jesus Lord. Oh, okay. I'm sorry I expected Solanke to score goals. That's on me.
Bro, I'm waiting for your sixth choice as well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah. And then,
funny.
so then fifth, yeah, you said Chelsea. Sixth for you was Spurs.
Well,
So
Spurs for
you
me.
put,
Did I say
yeah,
Spurs?
yeah, yeah, you put Spurs sixth. So we both believed. So it wasn't, and also I believed in my boy Pedro Porro. Like there was stuff I had.
I'm
There
not
was
gonna
stuff.
lie. Being. I think I was even being conservative with my thought of sixth for Spurs.
Yeah, I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I thought Spurs was gonna be. At least I don't think they were. I don't. I could never put them in the top four. But we both thought Spurs would play Europe. We
Yeah,
both did think Spurs would play in
yeah.
Europe.
So you put as your sixth choice.
Yeah, Man United, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where I thought it would be. No, I knew we weren't making. I knew this is going to be Amaron. Like
You didn't even know about Amaron. What are you coming
I
with
thought,
this bullshit? You were out
no, no,
here. I can roll back the tape. You were talking about how great Ten Hag will do. How Ten
I
Hag,
remember.
and I
I
was
was
like,
there, Ten
watch Ten
Hag
Hag
in.
be by the first wild card,
Nah,
and
I never knew
out.
that. I never knew that. I knew Ten Hag was there because I'm like, you've signed Delict. Mason Mount Kilimanjaro is gonna come through. Messi Light Ganacho is gonna have his breakout season. I know I was saying all of this. I think I even said Haaland Light. Rasmus was gonna come through. There was so much that I knew that I said, but I said we're not gonna be quite there yet. That's what I did. So that's why I said sixth because I knew that, but I expected us to flourish. I won't lie to you. I expected us to flourish.
Hey
Not as
man,
much as you did.
yeah, I won't lie. Villa coming in sixth in the actual league was good. They could
Oh,
have
it
done
is
better.
sad.
They
Yeah.
could have done better.
So yeah, so then that was so that
Sixth.
was wait, what
So
did
now
I
we're
say?
at
Yeah, that
seventh.
was six, first or six. So you also clearly also believed because at seven you have West Ham. So you also were with me in this West Ham belief. That's the sad part. So it wasn't just me. Yeah, four was maybe too much. I wouldn't even that. I'll give you that. I'll
Hey,
give
I
you
was
that.
50% of the way. I was 50% of the way there. You were like not even 10% of the way there, my guy.
So West Ham this season, bro. West Ham. So we clearly both saw something in our boy Bowen. We clearly
Yeah.
both saw the thing. We saw the thing. We saw the thing. I actually don't even know who I have seventh. I think it's Chelsea.
No, at seventh you have Villa. So you get a
Ah,
point.
one
You
point
get a point.
difference.
Yeah, you get a point.
I knew my boy Watkins would come through.
You got it.
My
You
boy
you
Watkins.
did well. You did well.
Yeah, yeah.
I won't lie. But
Yeah,
eighth.
eight. You have eight. You have Villa. So eight. You have Villa. So you just the start.
No, don't I? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. No, then I get. Oh
No,
yeah, I
one
did.
below, one
Yeah,
above.
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. Eight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you
I,
were close. You were close. No, no. So you were nearly there.
I had
So
eight.
so
Okay, I
Villa
had
were
Villa
in
eight.
around where you expected them to be. Yeah.
Yeah. You have though.
Who do I have?
You have an eighth. Newcastle United.
Let's go! So close, even so close, so close, so close.
I don't know if
But
that's close.
if Forest and who else? If Forest and Villa were serious, Newcastle would have ended up seventh. So I was close. If they took life seriously, I could have ended up close, but clearly not. Yo, I haven't even put Chelsea up yet. You, I never
No.
believe.
Tug, I don't know where I don't know where. Have I put Chelsea? No, I put Chelsea already.
No, no, you put Chelsea. Chelsea were fifth for you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was.
like, yo. So yeah, eight you put Villa. I put who did I put Newcastle eight.
You
Yeah,
put eight, Newcastle
Newcastle.
eighth. So right
Yeah.
now
So
we're sitting at a tie. Right now we're
yeah,
sitting
we
at a
tied.
tie. We're
Yeah,
tied.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Ninth,
yeah.
ninth,
Nine,
Doug. You put Crystal Palace.
nine. You have Newcastle. So yeah, you have Newcastle nine.
Yeah, and I can accept
Crystal
that.
Palace. No, Crystal Palace. If they found this form at the start of the season, they were vibing, bruh. They were vibing. So I can't fault my oath. Because at 10 you have Crystal Palace. So you also believe. That's the thing. You also like I believed, you believed
Ah,
as
you don't
well.
want to know who you have at 10, dog. You don't want to know who you have at 10. Because at 10, at 10, you have Chelsea, dog. You have them at
Come on.
10.
Hey, I wouldn't even lie to you. I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a honestly, no, no, but in reality, like this is not me, not even bantering. In reality, they still never bought anybody this past season. They had a manager who had just come from the championship. Like that was legitimately their manager this season. So for me, I'm like, you're gonna start the season with Nicholas Miss Jackson as your number nine, and you're not gonna sign another striker, and you're gonna bring up a championship manager that has never had Premier League like experience at all. In my mind, 10th place made sense. I couldn't expect Casado to be probably, in my opinion, if I had a team of the season, Casado would be in my team of the like playing style, not like FPL was. But if I had to make a team of the season, Casado would be there. He was like I couldn't expect him and Enzo to actually play well. Like so, Palmer was good for half the season, but then
Yeah.
yeah,
So wait,
but yeah.
who did I have at 10th?
No, Crystal Palace. Yeah, yeah, Crystal
Oh, I
Palace
had
10.
Crystal Palace. Okay, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
yeah, no points again. So hey, we're just losing points now.
Hey.
Like, but I think you might be making a resolution because actually I don't know this part of the log that well.
Oh, don't worry,
So
I've
you
got the
might,
log here in front of me. 11th.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you
So
want to
they
know who
might
you
come
wrote?
right now from.
Do you
They might
know
have
who?
come right.
Do you
Wait,
want
wait, wait. So who's 11 on the league? Let me
the
check who's
11th
11
on
on the.
the 11th in the league right now is 11th in the league at the end of the season was Fulham.
Oh, so close. So far. For you. So 11 was Fulham. Sid put at 11 Brighton.
Oh, okay.
What did Brighton come?
Brighton came 8th. So
Yeah.
close. Close. So
Who did
11th,
I? Yeah, who did
11th,
I get?
you put Brighton at 11th.
Hey, we were both Brighton enough, bro. We're hoping and hoping. We're hoping and hoping. We both believe. We never believed enough, clearly. We never believed.
I think
We never believed
what I
enough.
think is going to end up happening here is we're going to end up having a very similar
No, no, no. Sid, you
middle of
don't
the
see what
table.
you put at the end. Oh, there's nothing similar. You believed. You believed in oaths that shouldn't be believed in. So don't stress. So don't stress.
Okay, okay, okay,
Trust
okay.
me. At the end, you believed. Okay. So then 12, at 12, so you had Fulham, so you get your points. At 12, you
Hey,
had
you also had Fulham at 12. So we both get a
let's
point.
go. We are here. It's getting there, Sid. Because there's 13 coming, right? So 13, you had. I have no idea why you believe like this. But who's 13th on the log?
13th on the log is Everton.
Shame. You had Wolves. You had Wolves at 13. You had Wolves at 13.
Oh, I'm close. I'm
Yeah,
close. I'm not
I
upset
see.
about that. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Who did I
Um,
have at 13?
Brentford, dog.
Come on. Come on.
You have
That's not a
Brentford.
bad. Not
Um,
a bad.
Brentford came 10th.
Yeah, you're not a bad. No,
Not a
you're
bad
not a
shot.
bad.
No, it's not a bad shot. No, I'll give
Yeah,
that to you.
because at 14 you had Brentford. So now, so I feel like I was closer to the promised land at 14. At
At
14,
14, you had Everton, so you did well there. You did well.
yeah. So we were out here, Sid. Now we're getting to Manchester United territory. So, so at 15, Sid,
No, yeah, 15th.
15, for some strange reason, unbeknownst to me, you believed in the Vardy party and you put Leicester City. You believed like that.
Well, you, on the other hand,
What did I do?
you put Forest at 15th.
To be fair, no one could have expected Chris Wood to have and Morgan Gibbs White to come through like they did this season. Elanga was Elangering down the wing. That defense, Milenkovic was out there at the back. It was rough. It was rough. That is. I do apologize. I do apologize. Nottingham Forest. I disrespected your game. I disrespected your game.
So
Now,
16th.
yeah, 16, Sid, you out here not believing, man. 16, you had Bournemouth.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's. I mean, it's not as bad as your six. It's not as bad as what you put for where you put Bournemouth, but
What did I put? I
but
never believed.
I will say, did you? So you put 16th Wolves. So you got to bang on.
I knew my boys, fam. I always said I was Team Jacob, fam. Ooh, I'm a werewolf. I'm a werewolf. Let's go. That's I think the only one we've actually gotten completely
You're right.
correct.
Exactly. Exactly.
I knew about my wolves, guys.
So then
Ah, yeah,
17th is the kicker for me.
yeah, yeah.
17th,
Mhm.
you've put Ipswich.
Yeah, I believed. Nah, I believed. Oh, I believed. Oh, I was a believe. Oh, and I had Bournemouth going to. Oh, now I'm seeing what I did. No, I honestly, that was Man United bias. I believed, our former manager, our former assistant manager was gonna do the thing. But didn't Ipswich? No, Ipswich came 19th, no 18th or 19th.
19th.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, Leicester came right at the end. So yeah, shame.
Yeah.
But so I did
So,
believe I all had it. Sit at 17. Who did you have 17? 17, you had Southampton. So you believed that Southampton, the worst Premier League team in history, you thought that they were gonna escape relegation. You thought Shane Long and the boys were gonna come through and save the day,
yeah,
but they
I
didn't.
did. I genuinely did think that. But
Okay.
at 18, dog, you put Bournemouth to go
Okay,
down.
let me explain. Let me explain why. They had literally sold their linchpin striker. They never bought. Okay, I never knew they bought Evan Nielsen, so I never knew he would be as fire as. Okay, couldn't have expected that. Never expected it. They just bought some random Brazilian from a club you don't know. I'm like, you're not gonna replace Dominic Solanke with this random Brazilian. Who do you think you are?
I think they should.
Clearly,
I think they should swap Dominic Solanke with Evan Nielsen now
yeah.
for Spurs.
Oh, they won money here. Because they sold Solanke for a pretty penny, bro.
Yeah,
And he has done no inspiration. So that was my reasoning of you've sold your striker that saved your season last year, and you've bought an unknown Premier League quality player to try save you. I never knew that. I never expected what to happen. So, and Semenyo'd. There was no way we could have thought that Semenyo was going to be this guy. So I'm okay with that. But who you have 18th is where my problems reside.
it's Everton,
Where
isn't it?
Sid had Nottingham Forest. At 18th. Yes, that's where I have it. Wait, you thought Nuno and the boys, you thought Chris Wood and the O's, they were going down. But
Yes,
you
I did. I did. I genuinely thought. I'm sorry, but that's the way I thought it was gonna happen. I did not expect Chris Wood, like an almost middle-aged striker, to bang
yeah,
in goals the way he did.
a striker older than both of us,
Yeah,
still running around the Premier League, running around, scoring all the goals.
did not expect that.
Oh,
At,
but to save you, 19, you got Ipswich right on the dot.
oh, yes, I'm still losing this, but hey,
No, but so we both got one prediction each. That's the
yeah.
sad part. We both got nine prediction each. 19 Ipswich. What? Who did I put at 19?
You put
Leicester.
Leicester at 19, so you get a point
Yeah.
there.
So 1 point there. But I know 20 I got right. But you, how dare you say that Everton is gonna come last? In the, to be
They
fair,
were
considering
there. They were there before they
they were
sacked their
there.
manager. They were there.
When Deitch was Deitching, they had to bring back their hero Moyes. You know, that's why sometimes you have to go back to your ex because your ex knows you better than anyone else. You know, he's got back at 50. You tried all these youngins, none of them did it. Your ex came back and saved the day. So I will give you that. No one knows you like your ex did because I think they could have been close by there if they stick with Deitch. They would have probably been close by there. So
Yeah. I think yeah, well you got Southampton bang on. So
I believe.
so 10-6, dog. You got a sum total of 10 at the end, and I got
Thank you.
6. So
Thank you.
you are the winner of this
Thank you.
year's predictions of the 24-25
Yeah.
season's predictions. I will come
I
back with a vengeance.
I
I
know
mean,
ball. I know
I,
ball.
I don't know if you know ball, but you're lucky.
All I did, no. I basically just got Southampton and Wolves. Like that
Yeah.
saved my whole season.
But
Yeah,
also,
no.
I think this is a good time to bring up the FPL rankings.
Yeah.
So if we just go into fantasy, let's look
Yes.
at the how to tell us your season. Where did you end? How did it go?
Okay. So for the final game week, I will say that this is probably the worst triple captain in all history. By triple captain Watkins got me 6 points. But overall, if I ended up my drive for 100k never came into fruition, but my overall rank was 188k. So it's 188,972.
Okay, well
So
done.
so to be fair, a red arrow to end off because I was on like 168 before the start of the game week, so I lost about 20k. Um, yeah, so selling Saw instead of Murphy, huge mistake. Not starting Guardiola and starting Kivior, huge mistake. But all in all, for the season, I can't deny that I'm happy. You know, like I
What was
wouldn't.
your points total at the end of the season?
My point total at the end was 2,478.
Well done,
So
dog.
yeah, no. So overall, I was happy. Yeah, overall, I was happy. I just wish that I never backed premiums as much as I did, where not just like how I would, like I said in the last episode, how, oh, for some reason I kept Foden for 5 game weeks, but he only started 1 game week. The amount of time I kept Palmer, like, the amount, like he hadn't also scored for like 8 weeks type of situation. So that's kind of the only thing of how that I regret, like that I'll take back. Like you can't have hindsight, police, but it was staring me at the face. When it was staring me in the face that I made the wrong choice and the wrong decision, I kind of was just like, I don't know, you don't know Foden like I know Foden, you don't know Palmer like I know Palmer. But so that was kind of, I was very easy to get rid of your Bremos, your Visses, like all of those players. I was cutthroat. 3 weeks, not there, out. But on the premiums, I felt a sense of loyalty to the premiums, which shouldn't have happened. So that's kind of the only thing that I regret about how I handled fantasy this season. But all in all, I made more better right choices than wrong. So that's end of the day, that's all I could wish for. I made more right choices than wrong. I got off Paro at the right time. Like I had my stupidities, but when I saw that it never worked out, I got rid of them except for the premiums.
Yeah.
I valued the premiums too much, and that's the only thing that I'll say that I regret, and also maybe backing the strikers because this was not a season for for like expensive center forwards.
Yeah.
So the fact that I very rarely went with a 3-5-2 when there was a lot of midfielders that you could have put in your team. The fact that I really did always usually play a 3-4-3 when the strikers weren't really performing after Holland's hat tricks. Isaac had a stage, Wood had a phase, Welbeck had a phase, but like it was never. There was never a reason to have 3 strikers. There were many more midfielders that would have gotten you the same return of points. So formation wise, I have to look at that for next season as well.
Okay.
So those are the main things that I would say that could have at least elevated me to the top 100K at least. That's where I felt like I could have finished this season.
Okay, well done, man. I'm just gonna congratulate you. You did
Thank you.
well.
Thank you.
I did not beat you this season. I came in at 1.5 million. I don't even want to go into the nitty gritty of the numbers because I can't
Yeah.
count that high. But I got 2,294 points to end off the season. This week was a red arrow because of the fact that I chose the wrong captain, like you. Um, and yeah, I can also say that just like Arsenal, I was also phoning it home for the last 5 weeks of the season because I was like, there's no point. So yeah, I think overall, when it comes to looking at my team and the whole season's performance, I think there are some points which I need to address for next season. I think I kind of need to look at it as like a thing of, okay, well, I need to go back to the drawing board, basically. I need to go
Yeah.
back and understand that like what I've been doing in the past was I was cutthroat. I would never allow if a player didn't perform in 3 weeks, they were gone. There was no
Yeah.
love there. This season, I think one of the reasons why I was so tentative with the signings is because of budget constrictions. I feel like because so many players have become so much more expensive this season, it was a thing of like, oh, if I do sell this player, I'm worried about budget.
Mm.
And like, I might, like, I mean, in Buemo, I think I lost like almost a mil from selling in Buemo at one point.
Oh yes, yes, yeah.
When I shouldn't
Losing
have.
value on players, 100%.
Yeah, so the whole point this season, I think, was the value on players was skewed. Like, I'm not blaming it on that, but I'm blaming my transfer policies on that, where I was like, and also the whole new idea of banking up to four or five
Yeah,
transfers for the season for the you can bank up to that many transfers. It kind of screws with your head because then you're like, no, okay, next week, no, okay, next week, and then you use them all, and then you're like, okay, now 5 weeks later I've got to do this again, like and
yeah,
it's
no,
and having too many transfers sometimes also causes problems with like just like oh I was going through my team and transfers I made over the season. I think at one point I transferred Mbuemo in and out like 6 times, Salah like
yeah,
7 times, which was there was just no need for those types of transfers. Like I didn't need to do it. I could have, if you look at it like 7 times over a season over 38 weeks, realistically, that's like a third of the season that I've transferred him in and out. So what? He's playing 30% of the games. Like he played 30% of the games in my team. Maybe no more than 30%, but
yeah,
60% of the games he played in my team. So yeah, I think it would have just been smarter just to hold him the whole time and transfer another player out. And then Salah, the same thing. I think also, yeah, so I think the transfer strategy for the season is what really like screwed me quite badly. And then not looking at the cheaper options just because they're not premiums. Because
yes,
this season, definitely there was some cheaper options that were not considered to as premiums, and I started that trend really well with him with going for Welbeck, for example. Going for Welbeck, for example, where it was like, okay, cool, I'll go Welbeck. He's a cheap striker, and he was banging in goals. He was consistent for the pound of money I was paid for him. Great, but then I kind of became hyper focused on having 3 to 4 premiums in one team, which is just ridiculous.
yeah,
Like it's a ridiculous thing because the team is going to suffer. So you realistically only hoping 4 players the whole like that game week. You're counting your whole game week on 4 players to do the right thing, and like you can't like you. It's a team sport, so you need other players. So yeah, I think that's one of like I think those are the biggest things of like my this year's season where I need to just work on that. But I do say, having said that, I do think it's probably smarter next season to kind of remember that it's this season's not going to be like next season. I think,
I do agree with you. Where like in terms of, I don't think the season will be like, to be honest, like the fact that like you're Nottingham Forest, like Brighton and Bournemouth, like up until towards the end of the season, they were like fighting for like European football. So like we hope that your Manchester Uniteds and your Tottenhams will be like no, I'm just saying in terms of like how you select players from the team, because usually how it always would go is you would try to fill up at least 70% of your team with players from the top six, and then you fill up the rest with like like players to fill around it, because usually those teams would get the more points than the other teams. But this season is completely not like that. So I fully agree with you there. And I think the banking of the transfers is actually how I did so well, is because I didn't bank my transfers. Like I was allowed to get on, like you said, of oh my gosh, cool. This player is hot for these next 3 games. I could get on a Brennan Johnson for like 4 or 5 game weeks because of the fixtures. I could get on Cunha for like those good Wolves fixtures that they had, where people were like, "Oh, just stick with my guy so I can build up 5 transfers." I looked here, the most transfers I ever banked were 3 all season. That was the most
I
transfers
got
I'd
to
ever
five a
banked.
couple times.
Yeah, and that's the thing of, because I was so like cool, I'm gonna bank these transfers because as soon as that fixture swing comes, I'm on it. It's not I'm gonna bank 5 transfer things for this fixture swing. It's oh cool, this one, do this one, leaving that fixture swing, and then I'm building up transfers for the next one. So you only more short term, like 5 month week planning, rather than I'm gonna build up 5 transfers and then decide what's the best way to go about it.
Yeah,
So I think the extra transfers made people overthink. And like you said, of I developed some of your cutthroat ability of ah, you're not working. Cunha is out here scoring 2 weeks in a row. I'm not even thinking about it. This is the man I'm bringing in. Same thing I did with Wood, where I'm like, Wood scored 4 game weeks, just bringing him in. Like I never thought of strategy and building up transfers. It was cutthroat. This is what I'm gonna do. But I never ever did that with the premiums. So I needed that same level of cutthroatness, and forget Premier League pedigree and history, because that's destroyed me, because that's why I got De Bruyne in instead of Bowen and stuff. So just forgetting Premier League history and actually focusing on what is in front of you. So I fully agree with you in that. Um, yeah, that tactic that you said, yeah,
Yeah.
for what you learned.
I completely agree with you in that regard. Like, I think next season is going to be an interesting fantasy season. To be honest, I
Yeah,
think it's going to.
yeah, and I'm just trying to see what was Fantasy's team of the season. So for Fantasy's team of the season, it was that's funny enough. Not like their team of the season. It's just if you accumulate all the points, this is how many points everyone got. So the best keeper to have this season was Jordan Pickford, and he got 158 points. So we all okay. I thought it was Henderson, but the thing that makes it so funny is Pickford outscored every single defender in the league this season in fantasy. So first of all, Everton never got like a lot of clean sheets compared to, well, like they were like sixth or seventh on clean sheets. But Pickford, because of how he was in a really crap team, a lot of great save points, and obviously bonus from saves, he outscored every defender. So the fact that I had Trent, he was here, but the fact that I had Trent for like 8 to 10 weeks for 7 million makes no sense when Pickford, just as your goalkeeper at 5 or whatever he was, outscored all the defenders. So then Trent was the second. Yeah, no, Guardiola was scored the most points as defender,
Yeah.
153. Then it was Trent with 148. And that's with him not even playing the last 3 games since Liverpool wanted to make him Judas and in order to kick him out the club. So, and then Milenkovic got 145. So if you just look at that, it clearly shows that defense is not where you should be spending your money for fantasy, possibly in the future, because there weren't a lot of the attacking wing backs and stuff that we usually get assists from that are going to get assists and clean sheets.
Yeah.
So the fact that Pickford as a 5 million keeper outscored every defender in the game kind of shows that defense is not really where it should be. Where Salah got 344, so Salah doubled every single defender in the game on his own. He got double the amount of points than every defender in the game. So Salah is in the midfield, and Buemo, who no one would have been told is a premium, like Sid only brought him in the last game of the season. He was the second highest scoring midfielder and
That's
scored more
true.
than every striker in the game. So Mbuemo was the second highest scorer in FPL this season. He got 237. Palmer,
Where are you
okay.
seeing this exactly? Wait, I just want to see this list.
Um,
Can you
I
send me the
just
link?
okay. I'll send you the link now.
Just copy
Give
the
it a
link and
check.
paste it.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Palmer was cool. I'll send it to you. Palmer was 214, and then also surprise, surprise, my boy Jared Bowen. Also, I'm like fourth highest midfielder in the league. So I'm actually sad I never trusted you and believed in you. Then the top three were Isaac, Wood, and Watkins. So Haaland wasn't even one of the top. Okay, yes, he got injured, so I can't fault him.
Yeah.
But Haaland wasn't even one of the top three highest point scorers in the league this season. So the only premium there were Salah and Palmer, but Jan Bremos, no one believed in Bowen, Wood, Watkins. So it was a very difficult season. But that's what FPL, in terms of points, said it was the most fruitful point scorers for FPL this season.
What's interesting though is both of us beat that team of the season.
Yeah,
It would be very depressing to see if we didn't beat that team of the season.
no, yeah, that's true. That's fair. That's fair. So, but it was still like like it still it kind of showed how this season spending transfers on defenders seemed like a dumb issue. Spending transfers on keepers seems like these are things to think about going into next season, where the highest defender was at least 40 off of the next, like the fourth highest midfielder. Like, is changing a defender worth 40 points instead of changing something up front? So I think that that's something I'm going to think about next season, of really of just saying this is my keeper and I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
And I just buy five instead of buying a cheap defender. I just buy five defenders, and I'm like, I'm just gonna rotate these five defenders between in my team, and I don't actually spend transfers on defenders because it doesn't seem like it brings any, unless it's a double or something. It seems like it doesn't bring any fruitfulness to your team. So that's just ideas that I'm thinking of going into next season. But very surprised how Bowen did well. And I'm also very surprised that Watkins did well. Like, considering how much we spoke about Wood, Watkins was only outscored by Wood by 14 points. So we never really spoke about Watkins like the whole season.
Yeah.
I think I had him for 4 weeks in total, my entire season, and he clearly was. And that's considering Rashford and stuff came into the team and took his place. So like he actually like could have played a lot more games and had a lot more minutes if um, if Rashford never signed for Aston Villa. So that's actually a very big surprise. And also sold the Duran guy that they had at the start of the season that played well for them as well. So considering Watkins really slipped under the radar for a lot of us going into the season, I think Watkins and Bowen and not making Embremo essential. Like, I don't think we ever said Embremo was an essential asset.
Yeah.
Where we always like, oh yeah, Embremo, yeah. Like I just had Embremo because I'm like, I might as well. Like he's him or Watkins, he's on penalties. I mean, him or Palmer. Sorry, I'm like he's on penalties and so much cheaper than Palmer. Why else wouldn't I get him? Like that was my logic. But if
Yeah.
Palmer was scoring, I would have picked Palmer every day of the week.
No, I 100% agree with you, and I think that's the big thing is that we just you can see from that team of the season, it's just some players we just never thought about, and
Yeah,
realistically, it should have. Yeah, we should have thought about it, and I just
because I
think,
never even had Pickford. I don't think I had Pickford for huge parts of the season. I think I had Henderson and Sells. Then I ended up with Raya. Like
yeah,
those are. I don't even think Pickford was an option just for goalkeepers, just for me. So
no, I agree with you. Like it was never an option. I never thought about it, and looking at it now, I'm like, this is something you keep in mind, like for next season. Is just to like actually be a little bit more fluid, be a little bit more open to changing
to
some
not
players
break
around.
it. Yeah. And one thing, Pep has to decide what he's doing with Phil Foden. There's no way. No, this is a serious thing. There's no way you can go from player of the season, the toast of the town. Everyone is like, "Hey, Foden, Osaka." Like, no, that's where Foden was. That's where Foden was in the world. People were deciding. I'm like, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but but I'm still saying people were saying, I don't know if you want Foden or Saka. Who would you want to build your team around? No, 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 no. You went from all of that to one goal this whole season. Nah, that needs to be discussed. That has to be discussed, and Pep has to provide the answers. Because there's no way you can go from being the best player in the league to the next season having one goal. That can't happen. In no, so, and yes, he was injured for some parts of the season, but there were some parts where he wasn't injured. This has to be discussed and this has to be analyzed because that's quintessential. That's destroying a person's career. This guy could have been. No, it is. This man was literally the best in the league one season, and next season you can't buy a goal. Buy one. Can't even do it.
Okay.
So that needs to be discussed because I'm just mad because I backed Foden. So that was just That was just my residual anger.
Hey, I back you.
Yeah, that's a way of like, because I would love to have a Man City asset because I can't see myself affording Haaland next season because I know that in Bremo and stuff. Well, unless he comes to United, Bremo, you can come on down. We'll, we'll make you feel at home. We'll make you feel at home. We'll make you feel it. He actually would be a better fit for Arsenal if I had to think about it, but he can still come on down.
I think he. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Arsenal are going to spend money this season, this
Oh yeah,
window.
no, definitely. Yeah, I know that. I know that we have the here we go for Cunha, where he's agreed terms, and then now we just have to match Wolves' release clause. So that's all done. Doesn't care that we don't have European football, my man. He's coming for the badge and and the money, but the badge.
If
So yeah,
he,
next season could be difficult. Yeah.
yeah, I think it will be difficult, and let's see how it
But
goes.
then, yeah, for our teams, what do you think are the positions that your team should focus on? So for Arsenal, what positions do you think they should spend money
Dog, it's a left midfielder slash left wing,
on? Okay.
striker. I think we need another defender. I know it's wild to say, but I do think we need another centre back. Um, Weirdly enough, I feel like we should have maybe after seeing the last few games of Kieran Tierney.
They should, bruh. Can I honestly tell you, he's been my guy. I love Tierney. I genuinely do, but I do think the issue is he isn't an inverted left back, and you guys like playing with one of those.
Yeah,
So
so my thing
that's my
is
that's my only thing.
yeah, I agree with you that he's not an inverted left back, but I think you can make the argument for him to be a centre back. To be honest, like
Okay.
but he would be a squad player. He's never gonna get
Oh, he's
starting.
always going to be a squad player. No, he's
Yeah,
not
he
going to
was never
start.
gonna get starting game time, and I get that's the problem for him, and that's the
Yeah, because
where
he's.
we at in
Mm,
terms of like our like full. Let's call it fullbacks because I feel like that's a better way to say it. Our
yeah,
fullbacks with Timber and Skelly and Calafiori and yeah,
White.
Tomiyasu might come back. Like,
They also have White, so still have White.
oh yeah, and also Ben White. Sorry, I completely forgot Ben White as well. Those are five. You have five fullbacks in the team.
Yeah.
Like, so I think. Oh, and we also had freaking what's his name, Zinchenko.
Oh, Timber can play also. Yeah.
Hey,
You said Timber, right?
yeah, I said Timber. I'm pretty sure I must have said Timber. And then also Zinchenko. So there's six fullbacks that you like literally versus the centre back situation where you just have Saliba, and
Gabriel
Gabriel
and
and
Gabriel.
Kivior. So
Yeah.
literally you could play literally you could have like a different centre back, like a different fullback pairing playing every week or every 2 days, a different fullback
Yeah.
pairing. But again, we
Yeah.
didn't even do it. Wasn't even like we were doing that because we don't trust majority of those pairings.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
never trusted. Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
like I think for Tierney, he makes sense. It would have made sense to keep him as a squad player, but at the same time, bro, if the guy wants to go and play like first team football somewhere else, fair
Yeah, because
enough.
I think he's the vice captain for his national team, so like he wants to
Yeah,
like
and he wants to
play.
go
So
back. He's go because he's going back to.
I think he should be going to Scotland. Yeah, I think he's
He's
going
going
back
back
to
to
Scotland.
Scotland. I think he's not which is the team Celtics.
I
No,
think he's going. I think he might be going to Rangers. Let me just check.
Rangers.
Yeah, Glasgow Rangers. Let me just check. TNE. Oh yeah, he's going back to Celtic. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, Celtic. Yeah, so he's going to Celtic. Yeah,
So he's going to Celtic. Like I get it. He's going to be a first team player. He's going to play.
just going back home.
Yeah,
Gets to go back home. Gets to have some haggis. I support his hustle.
yeah. And also he is very injury prone, so it doesn't really
No,
like.
that is
And
true.
half, literally, like more than half of our fullbacks are injury prone, if not more. So I get it. You know what? I think so. If we get rid of the right amount of fullbacks this season, because I think also Arsenal. I think the biggest thing actually Arsenal need to do is clear house. Like there's a lot
Yeah,
of like dead wood lying around in the
yeah.
team, and like I know it's first world problems, but like we've just outgrown some players. Like yeah, we might have also bought them only 2 years ago or 3 years ago, but we've outgrown them. And realistically, we need to create space for new talent and younger players. Like I think Heaven, for example, that went to United, like
Oh, would have been great. Yeah.
if we didn't have so many defenders that are just kicking around in the first team as squad players, you probably would have been able to sway Heaven. Like, listen, you can come, we can put you into the first team. And you can start playing. You can start like we'll give you game time, like what we're doing with Miles, what we're doing with
If you did with Saka and Martinelli back in
yeah,
the day.
Martinelli, what we're doing with Ranieri, like that's where you go. Like, okay, yeah, you need to create that space to allow for players, a younger player, because realistically, yeah, look, Arsenal's squad is still very young. Don't get me wrong, but like we also have to have players that are coming through next, like that are starting to come through, so that there's no gap when it comes to like we don't go through a complete rebuild. Like we should think of it like I think right now, as much people as many people want to like sit there and go like, oh yeah, Arsenal, like you guys banter FC, it's the next phase or whatever. But I think
It's
low
nine,
key
like
think Arsenal need to go through a rebuild. I just low key think that like yeah, we've got the set positions like Saka, you have Lewis Skelly, you have Wanieri, there's even Max Bowman that they want to bring through next season. I don't know if you've heard about him, but yeah,
no, no, no.
he's looking good. He's playing for the youth team. He's looking good. They're thinking about bringing him through. Um, so you look at that. There's only probably like 4 or 5 players that I can off the top of my head are like, yeah, okay, these guys are here for the long haul. Like I want them. Saliba, Gabriel as well. You know what? They're here for a while. You can still get a few more years depending on their if they go for their contract renewals or not like that. But I mean, we also can't sit and do a Liverpool where we let them say, yeah, we're gonna renew, but then comes the date for the contract renewal, like comes the date where their contract is expiring, like yeah, actually we're not renewing, we're going to Madrid.
Yeah, no, no, we don't do that. We don't do that here.
So I think those are important things that needs to be like checked. But yeah, I think Arsenal need to go through a bit of a mini rebuild because also going 3 seasons second, it takes a toll on like the mentality of players. So if you've gone three
Yeah.
seasons second, okay, great. But now you need to inject some energy, some like renewed vigor into the team, and you're not going to get that vigor from the players who are already there. So that's where you start. I think as a coach, I would be like, okay, cool. I would love to kind of do a mini rebuild where yes, okay, we sell Zinchenko, sell Gabriel, sell Jesus. I know we can't sell Jesus just yet because he has an ACL injury again. Um, and he'll probably only come back. We'll probably only get rid of him in like January next year. But
Yeah.
like those are your key
Yeah, you're
components.
selling Jorginho. You're selling
Yeah,
Jorginho.
Sal
Going
Jorginho.
with Fabio Vieira. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, you're just getting rid of all of the squad players that or French Premier League players, and also like, yeah, so that you can rebuild new.
Yeah, so it's just to add because that also gives you space and money to add more players to the mix. Like I don't want to be in another situation where I'm sitting and looking at an Eddie Nketiah on my bench for 7 seasons, dog. When I know this man's not it's not the one. So like yeah, I think when you're looking at Arsenal, there's like that's why I'm kind of excited to see what type of business they do because I do think Arsenal are gonna go first round of the window. Like okay, yes, I know there's a mini window now for the club World Cup, but like I don't see like maybe we'll get one signing through the door during that time. It might be a striker signing. I'm hoping it's a striker signing, but like because I think Zubimendi I've heard is only willing to come through from
The
uh
second transfer in there.
yeah in the second transfer window, so that's fine. And then in July. So I think, and then that second transfer window, I think we're going to see a lot of outgoings of players, and then we're going to start recouping and start filling up the players. So it'll be like sell one, buy one, sell one, buy one, sell one, buy one, sell one, buy one, and then you're going to see like that's why I think it's going to be a big window because yes, we might only have before sales 200, 250 mil to play with, but I think after selling we might have another 150 mil that we'd want to play with. 100, 150 mil, just because we've gotten so many people off the books.
Yeah, no, that's no. I fully yeah, no, that sounds like the correct thing of like the Haven thing is also great because I've only seen him play finance like 3 times, and he's like, I think he's like him at 19, considering he's coming into a new team and whatever. Like I think he's performed as well as any like 19-year-old can perform in such performances. So I fully agree with you. Like even for Man United, like we have to get rid of people. That's why Ericsson is gone. Lindelof is gonna go. Then you have to just get rid of like more nonsenses. Like I honestly, I think it's over for Onana. I think Amaron is not Amaron's guy. Because he never played in the last game of the season, even though he never had to. But he hasn't been playing in a lot of games. He got benched. Ten Hag has taken over by Leverkusen. So if that's Ten Hag's all. So if Ten Hag wants his all back, we are with open arms. We are willing to help a brother out. I just want him to know. But I do think we need a. I think we also still need to clear it. Like I know we want to sell Ganacho. I know that we want to sell maybe Mount. I don't know. Maybe we want to get rid of Mount. Um, and you have to look at Rasmus Hoyland. To be honest, like maybe send him out on loan like you did for your other players and see if he has a chance. But these are things that you have to start creating space and opportunities for new players. Because I'm not gonna say sign 4 new players and it's gonna change our team. No, we still have. Let's figure out what we first get rid of people. And Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw has got to go. Luke Shaw is another player. I cannot stand him in my team
I want.
anymore.
Sorry to interrupt you. But it just popped in my head. I know there's
Yeah.
rumors for Bruno Fernandes that there's a
Nah,
hundred
they said
mil.
he's not. They said there is an issue, but I think they're gonna. I think it's gonna be Bruno Fernandez or Ganacho, and I think they're going to sell Ganacho.
But do you not think it's smart to sell Bruno Fernandes at this point, just because you guys are rebuilding a team for a whole new manager, and he's basically your biggest asset. Like I think
Yes,
in your team it's like the biggest asset, and he's 31. So realistically, what even if you make him sign, even if he stays on, he plays maybe 2 3 years more, and then he goes on a free or he retires.
but no, because he signed a new contract last season, so we have him for at least another 3 years.
But that's what
So
I'm saying. Like another 3 years of him, and then you've got like, and then at that point, the 3 years, anyways, you're gonna have to bring someone in, and you won't get the 100 mil. Whereas rather now you get the 100 mil for a team that's
so
cash strapped, like
so
supposedly cash
here's
strapped.
so here's my thing. I if if there was an heir apparent, I would. If there was like my thing is if we let Bruno go, we are getting relegated. So that extra 100 million will do fuck all for us.
No, but I
Like
mean, you guys have got like Menu. You guys can play like Menu.
you
You can
watched
play
us this
like.
season,
No,
but
I know. Okay, no, no. But what I'm trying to
yeah,
say is, I know I've
yeah.
watched you guys play this season. But the thing is, what I'm trying to point out here is that like you can buy young like talent. You can buy talent that's not like you don't need. Okay, look, you don't need to go buy freaking Jude Bellingham from
No, no,
Real
no.
Madrid. You don't need to go buy like someone from. You don't need to go buy Yamal from Barca or anything
Yeah.
like that. You just need consistency right now, right?
Yes,
Like you
yeah,
need
yeah.
consistency. You need to slowly build that squad back. And you look at like go back to Fergie and like stuff like go to Fergie, go back to Man City when they first started rebuilding and being competitive. They were just buying run of the mill, not run of the mill, but whatever was good talent in the Premier League at a decent price, putting them into a team, and then just expecting consistency. You can go buy like good players from Brighton, Bournemouth, um, freaking Forest. Like you guys still have like money and the weight to push around to go like basically get any player you want, like an Embuemo. Even like if you go sell 100, you can get an Embuemo who will pick up that slack. Do you know what I mean? Like of thing, and Embuemo can
Yeah,
play a central attacking role in the team. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
no, I think that's his best position. To be fair, I think yeah, I thought that was his best
yeah,
position this season.
same. And so that's what I'm trying to
So
say.
no, no.
Like
To answer your question, like obviously I'm a fan, so I'd be like, nah, no, whatever. But then I would then do like we did with Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm like, cool, just for this season because we're gonna do such a mass clear out next season or even in January or something, then if that's what needs to happen, then just tell the guys you can have him next season or like for like 20 million less or something. But I think that if we're gonna issue new people in, I think there is no one in our midfield. Like Menu is young, there is no one that can be a leader in the midfield, which I think could be a problem. Because even up front, there's no experience. So I think that if he's just said for one more season, we need you so that you could at least be experienced in the midfield to have more experienced people around him. But if you're just doing that, then you're just playing kids because
no,
Hoyland is 20,
but you're not
Hoyland's
playing.
21, Ahmed's 23, Ganacho is 20, like Menu is 21. Like no one has experience yet. Okay, so Ugarte is new to the Premier League, so no one in that front has had any
Yeah,
experience.
but I'm not saying
That's
don't
that's
buy.
why I'd wait an extra season. I'll just wait an extra season
And
before I consider that.
I
Is
get what
that's
you
just my opinion.
I get
That's
what
my opinion.
I get what you're saying, and like 100%, like I see what you mean, like in terms of experience, but no one's saying you have to go buy kids in the Premier League. You can
Oh,
go buy the
that's our new
experience.
NER structure. That's our new NER structure. We've only bought kids. So then that's kind of a thing of that's why we bought Haven. We only buy kids. Kids or players that are on cheap contracts, like a Delict and Cunha. Like we're just buying players that either have release clauses or we buy cheap because we're not trying to overspend anymore.
But also
That's kind of
when you look at it, like you're gonna have Cunha, who's gonna play a central attacking role. He's not gonna be a striker for you guys. He's gonna be like a cam.
yeah, I think he might play striker. He might play because
No,
we were
if
going to play in it.
you guys are gonna buy a striker, you guys are going to buy a striker this season. Like no, there's no two ways about it. Like you, yes, you have Xerxes and you have Hoyland, but I think either they both go out on loan, or they one goes on sale and one goes out on loan, and you bring in
Yeah.
a striker. Like if you like realistically, I think yeah, you end up getting a striker. You ending up getting a well, Cunha's there, and then you're gonna play like you've got
I mean, if you
the.
do all of that, then yes, I agree with you. Then I would sell Bruno. Then that's my thing of. But for right now, I would rather just have. I'd rather have him for one more season. I don't think he's worth selling. I don't think. I think we'll only get worse without Bruno.
Fair enough. I mean, I get it.
So then that's just my that's where I'm like that 100 million. I don't trust because I've seen us spend like 750 million. I don't trust us spending that 100 million correctly. So I would rather just keep what we have now because I've seen us spend 750 million over these past few years, and I can tell you we have not spent well. So I'm like, no, that's just my thing of I would rather deal. I've seen us have money and not spend it well. So I'm like, you know what? Let's forget the money. Let's just enjoy the asset. Let's enjoy the asset while we have that. Because I know this asset is going to be fine. So that's why that's also my thing of I don't trust how we're going to spend the money. Like considering we spent nearly 80 on Anthony, we spent 60 something on Hoyland. Now you want us to just get an extra 100 again for free. I don't trust us to spend this money at all. Let's keep Bruno. That's that's my new that's my new modus operandi. But yeah, I definitely think we will sign. I want a CDM. Yeah, maybe two or one attacking midfielder and a center forward. So those are the four positions that I really think we should really strengthen in our league because I think we're just going to stick with the defense we have. Um, and it's fine. And goalkeeper, yes, sorry, yeah, goalkeeper, please. We will not, and I will say this right here on the internet. We will not win any European trophy with Onana as our goalkeeper. Let's discuss that. No European trophy will happen with Onana as goalkeeper, and Luke Shaw has to go. Those are the two main points that need to happen.
I get what you're saying, and I just think that like yeah, I agree with you that you will need to what's it? You do need to like obviously get rid of Luke Shaw, get rid of Anana, um, but also like at some point you guys need to look to the future essentially,
No, no, I think yeah, that's true.
and I'm just interested to see how do you guys do
Do
that.
that.
And like
Yeah,
I think the 100 mil that you guys would get for Bruno buys you two players basically.
and and I've said I don't trust how we're going to spend that money, Sid. That's my issue. I fully agree with you, but I don't trust. We've spent that money on Hoyland and Anthony. That would you rather have Hoyland and Anthony or Bruno?
Yeah, but also those are all signings that weren't from Ineos.
I know. Okay, okay, no. Okay, Xerxes. Okay, no, Xerxes is not bad. Okay, Xerxes is not bad. I can't. Yeah, because Ineos signed Xerxes, Delict, and that new left back we signed
But it's
Dogu.
also
And
fair. Bear
Ugarte.
in mind, it was also for a manager that doesn't exist at the club anymore.
That's fair. That is fair. So
Also,
no, that's my
you guys got rid of Barada. I think his name is Barada, isn't he? Omar Barada or whatever. Didn't you?
yeah, I think so, yeah.
Wasn't that your sporting director when you first?
Yes, yeah. Oh yes, I was putting the director. No, no, it wasn't him. That's not his name. But Towns, it is like an English, but yeah, we got rid of our sporting director. Yes, we did.
No, it
I
is.
can't remember.
It was Barada. I'm pretty sure it was Barada that you guys got rid of.
But we did get rid of our sporting director because of Amaron. He wanted us to hire Eddie Howe and Graham Potter. And
Uh,
we were, and he also like, not today, Satan. We, so then, yeah, we did end up we did end up losing him because he wanted to bring in Graham Potter.
oh, sorry, it was Dan Ashworth. It was Dan
Yes,
Ashworth.
Dan Ashworth. Yeah, that's his name.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got rid of. So yeah. So then, but then we had to get rid of him because he wanted your boy Gareth Southgate, Eddie Howe, or Graham Potter to take over from Ten Hag. And any of us were like, we're not falling for this again. So we went and got Amaran. So that's why Dan Ashworth had to leave. So that's just my thing of I'm not willing to take that gamble on Bruno because I'm like I at least know that Bruno will deliver. So, but I would give it a season of cool. We're gonna sell Ganacho. We're gonna sell Rashford. That's hopefully a good 90 million there already. So I would if I see how we spend that money, then I'll be like, cool. Then next season, just take 20 off of Bruno's 100 now, and then we can get rid of him. If the offer is still on the table, I would rather wait and see for that offer than just trust that these O's are going to spend the money correctly because we're going to have a chance to see how they spend their money now. I want to see it. If I see something worthwhile, then I'm like, cool. Then aim for the future, like you said, by getting rid of Bruno. But
Yeah.
right now, he's the only one. Him and Amantialo are the only two I'm trusting to lead this attack to the promised land of the future.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll back you.
All right. Is there anything else that you think we should add to this episode? I think we've gone through everything we need to.
Yeah, I think we have, and I mean, fantasy is over. It's sad, but at
It's
the
a
same
sad.
time, I'm ready for next season because I'm gonna beat you.
I'm ready. No, yeah. So we won one. We won one. We won one. So next season we're back, and I'm gonna be excited again because I'm gonna have my optimism back. So Man United must just be terrible again because I think that's the key to success is Man United being terrible, and then we can be a great team again. So I want to just say thank you guys for coming through for us this entire season, being here with us, following us through our journey. Next season, we are going to be bigger and better because we're figuring out how to do this thing and we figured out how to do this correctly. So I'm excited. You're excited. I think we'll see you guys next season. You guys remember, we are number one in the field.
And number one in your hearts.